Hi, this is Alex Chu. Today's February 15th, 2010. I've been sitting at home studying lots of Bible prophecies, and I came across something very, very interesting. I was watching lots of YouTube videos talking about Daniel's 70 weeks. You know, they were confused. Is 70 weeks, could it be interpreted as 70 years, or it has to be actual 70 weeks, meaning 70 times 7, so it's like 400 some years, and it's all very confusing. I found something in the Bible, okay? Something, it's extremely obvious. People want to know what's the end time. When is the end time coming? Is it really 2016 or 2007, whatever? I found something in the Bible that's so accurate, okay? And it's indisputable. If you saw it, you have no doubt in your mind exactly when the end time is going to occur. I found something like that. Okay, let me share it with you. In the Bible, we open up to Genesis chapter 15:13. Okay. God said to Abraham, and he said unto Abraham, Know assuredly that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge, and afterward shall they come out with great substance. So basically, God told Abraham that your descendants will travel to a land and they will become slaves for 400 years. And after that, I'm going to judge that nation, and I'm going to give them some kind of gift. Okay. So basically, lots of people think that this is about the Hebrews being enslaved in Egypt, right? But clearly, I don't think they're talking about the Hebrews. I don't think this prophecy is about the Hebrews in Israelites in Egypt, because here's the reason. Okay, Kohath was the grandson of Jacob, or the son of Jacob. Anyway, Kohath was born in Canaan. Okay, that's where Jacob lived before he moved to Egypt. Kohath was born in Canaan, and he died at 133 years old. And then his son, Amram, was born in Egypt. Okay, and he died at 137 years old. And Amram's son was Moses. Okay, and when Moses came back to Egypt to free his people, Moses was 80 years old. So if you add 133, 137, and 80 together, you get 350. And I mean, I'm talking about these people. Kohath died at 133, Amram died at 137, Moses came to Egypt at 80. Okay, if you think that Kohath would give birth to Amram at 60, and Amram would give birth to Moses at 60, that adds up to around like 170 years or 160 years. So basically, I think the Israelites were enslaved in Egypt for about like 100 some years. 200 years is even hard. It's difficult to say that they have been enslaved in Egypt for 200 years. That's even too long. I would say approximately they've been enslaved in Egypt for 100 years. So clearly, this 400-year prophecy, his descendants will be enslaved in a country, enslaved for 400 years. It's not about the real Israelites. It must be about the black people in the United States, because Jamestown. Okay, the first Jamestown was established in 1606. And then the first slaves that came to the United States, they came right after Jamestown was established, maybe 1 or 2 years after Jamestown was established. So let's say the first American slaves came to the United States in 1608. Wow, what a coincidence. 400 years later, 2008, Obama becomes the president. And okay, so basically, when 400 years of enslavement, right? And then also, there's another prophecy. Moses, before he brought the Israelites out of Egypt, Moses said, 430 years, your people will dwell in this strange land for 430 years. But he didn't say, your people will be enslaved for 430 years. He simply said, these people will dwell in this land for 430 years, and later on, they'll never see this land again. Okay, so you come to here's another thing funny. Jamestown is actually not the first colony set up in the United States. The first colony, I forgot what the name was, but the first English child ever born in the United States, in America, was Virginia Dares, and she was born in 1587, I believe. Right. So the first colony that actually dwelled in America is around 1588 to 1587 or 1588. So if you count 430 years, that's exactly 2016. 2016. So Moses said, after 430 years, the force of God will leave Egypt and will never return to Egypt again. Basically, he's saying that 430 years later, you're not going to see Egypt again. So Egypt is the modern United States, okay? The modern United States, or the modern, the current kingdom that we're living in. 430 years later, in 2016, we're not going to see that kingdom ever again. Okay, and now God gave Abraham that message. Remember that 400 years prophecy again? Okay, let me go back to that 400 years prophecy. God gave Abraham a prophecy. Okay, after 400 years, after your people have been enslaved 400 years, they will come out with great substance. And what's so funny is another Bible verse. It's from the New Testament. It's called Acts, and it's Acts chapter 7:6. Hold on, okay. And God spake on this wise, that his seed should sojourn into a strange land, and that they should bring them into bondage and enslave and treat them evil for 400 years. In the nation to whom they shall be in bondage will I judge, said God. And after that shall they come forth and serve me in this place. Okay, in Acts, it's saying that these people will be enslaved 400 years. After that, they will take over. They will become rulers. So Obama became the first black American president. What does that have to do with the end time? It's simple. You know, when Moses left Egypt, right? God told him, okay, from now on, you guys have to celebrate the Passover. Passover is 7 days. 7 days you have to eat unleavened bread. Unleavened bread it's basically a very hard bread. It looks like mashed dough. It looks like the crust of pizza. You know, it's not very delicious. You have to eat unleavened bread with very bitter herbs. So basically, it's tough to eat. It's very tough to eat. Basically, this prophecy is saying that you're going to have 7 tough years after the 400 years enslavement. There's going to be 7 tough years, and then after 7 tough years, you know, okay, now we got that part. All right, you have basically after 400 years of enslavement, there's going to be 7 days of Passover. You have to celebrate that. So it's 7 tough years, right? And then when you go into when you jump to Revelation chapter 5, basically the 7th seal is to be opened by who? By the Lamb, by the Passover Lamb. The Passover Lamb that Lamb has 7 eyes and 7 horns. Why? Because this Lamb that has been slain, that has 7 eyes and 7 horns, that does not represent Jesus Christ. It represents the Passover holiday. Passover has 7 years. That's the reason why when you see the Passover lamb, when you see the lamb that has been slain, that opens up the seal, it's basically talking about the Passover. So basically, after 400 years of enslavement, if you jump around, okay, now you can come to a conclusion. After 400 years of enslavement, the black people in the United States, after 400 years, they will take over. They will take over. They will become rulers. And then there's going to be 7 years of tough life. There's going to be 7 years of harsh life. And what happened at the end of the seventh seal? That's the end time. Okay? That's when the kingdom of God shall be established on earth. Am I right? Yeah. So if you do a little research, you will realize what I said does make a lot of sense. And it's a lot more accurate than Daniel prophecy. Thank you very much.